Okay, yes, it's me. But this time, this is very, very serious. This is very, very serious. What I have to tell you. Um, let's see if I can get this straight. Yes, get this straight. Yeah, this is very, very serious. What I have to tell you. I'm about to tell you the reason why God wants me to talk. God wants me to write a book. I'm going to tell you the reason why an old lady told me last year that I have a word for everybody I meet wherever I go. Powerful ministry. I already know that because I already know since I was 9 years. I have 9 years old. I have a global calling, a global anointing, and I can prophesy to a dog or to a flea. I've been forced to work jobs that I was underpaid, overqualified in order to be able to prophesy to strangers in clothing stores and in retail stores and people all over the world, pray for people who would never go nowhere near a church. I'm going to tell you why. Who's the real Gomer? I don't know if you know the story of Hosea and Gomer, but Hosea was the prophet that married basically a woman that was promiscuous, trashes. Some say prostitute, some say skank hole, whatever. A prophet was asked by God to marry a whoredom woman. And what she did, she would clean up and do good. She run back to the streets. She clean up, do good, run back to the streets. And that was to show Israel at that time that they whore with other gods. And the true groom is God the Father. But anyway, that's your church. Your church has had so many deep secrets and such a history of sickness and evil that now you see the fruits of the secrets of the church. That's why people like Brother Corey Holcomb don't believe in religion or don't believe in all that stuff about the Bible and his mom say about Jesus, because he's seen the fakeness and he's seen the games. That's why my cousin Little Clyde didn't believe, but his godmama go, but she a preacher. But look how little Clyde died. My cousin died last year. They said they don't believe because they see the church got one foot in the world, one foot in this, one foot in mammon, one foot in this. Look at your gospel singers on Instagram. Look at all your religious people in Hollywood who go for they believe in Jesus or the devil made Will Smith smack. All this stuff going on. But it's amazing. And I'm going to tell you, it's amazing. Here it is. I've had to be Hosea. I had to marry Roland Wright, Papa Rowe, for the sake to show the world that's the church. Gomer. Because there was a time when my husband really was trying to be good, but when his grandma died, he said he gave up on everything. And he joined the club that said they're gonna kill that stuff at 30. He's the only one that's still living. And it's amazing what he said his mama did to him to make him leave Job Corps and who was laying in bed waiting for him when he got home. See, if he told me the family don't know the story, but only one or two, and one of them is a religious leader in the family that's strong arm and puppet mastering people. It's a lot of puppet masters. It's a lot of people say, well, I'm righteous, I'm holy, so you got to do what I said, is what I think. And they condemn people so that when people in their family go down, they're going to run to you. Well, you pray for me. And as soon as they get back healed from cancer, they go back because you see the church is ineffective because the church is infected. Because for whatever price I'm willing to pay, there's a limit. Don't nobody want to pick up their cross and follow Jesus for the guilty. Here it is, I've had to live as Hosea. Here it is, I had to live as John the Baptist. My whole life, I've been tormented and abused. You should see what my own family in Amelia County off of Highway 612 is doing to me right now. My whole family in Richmond, Virginia, you should see my own mama. You should see in the name of what? Well, my husband was raised in the church. Tell me one scripture he know. Tell me one Bible. It's amazing what I know about his father. It's amazing even what your dad knew about his father, what your Uncle Tom knew about his father. It's amazing what Reverend Marion said about his father. It's amazing why Sis Francis never came back. It's amazing why we don't talk to Uncle Toby, Cousin Toby no more. It's amazing who did what, who hoard what. Here, women in the choir panning out pictures to men at the church of them in bathing suits, and here they fighting cancer. Here it is, former sheriff's wives throwing themselves on Brother Randy. People suing the church now, and people in jail 70 years fighting over who the assistant pastor, people fornicating in the pews, women whoring with people. I can tell you a history of what I know in everybody church, folks. My brother even said that he don't want no parts of no Jesus because he done seen it his whole life. One minute they're at the church, one minute, next minute they side piecing, twerking. It's amazing. It's the church. And some of these people who go for their holy because, but I don't drink and I don't smoke, I don't cuss. Those are the obvious ones. Even little children know this wrong. But what about the ones, them leaders like at that camp I done told you about, where you're not validated or authorized, that's I say so. People who are wounded, who have fears, who have spiritual baggage are hiding out. They're not going around the world doing missionaries like God gave that lady the vision when she moved from Washington, D.C. to Ashland to start it. Their places, and why they all their testimonies and miracles are stuff that come from whatever 20 years ago when Sister Ruth died. And I can tell you some stuff that could get your government in trouble why they allow this place. See, it's some stuff over your pay grade, social worker. It's some stuff over your pay grade, Officer Pitt. It's some stuff you don't know. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know what I know. You don't know what I know. You don't know who I know, what I know, and you don't know who Trevor. You don't know because y'all respect that place because it seems quiet. Sneak it. It's a lot of illegal, ungodly stuff. And I'm sorry, they need to overhaul the nonprofit division of the IRS. I'm gonna tell you right, they need to overhaul it. I know so many details of so much sneaky stuff. I know about in-kind gifts that never get reported. I know about slave labor in the name of people on Social Security, working hard, slaving. Here it is. My husband was supposed to have a PET scan September 2007. You know, a PET scan is scan for cancer. How it is my husband was misdiagnosed with Parkinson's and taken every week to a place that was making him sick. I can prove medical malpractice. I can prove that camp, and he is now my husband diagnosed with cancer. Until he got diagnosed this year because I had to take him somewhere. He got proved that he don't have Parkinson's, but yeah, he was shaking and trembling. It's amazing. All in the name of what? It's a game. And here it is. His son is just as crazy. And what they do to him, and he'll tell that he's jealous of Brother Patrick. So Brother Patrick don't drive the van. It's amazing how they talk about each other, but they all run to Massa. This lady got a strong arm over the name of "Don't make me mad because I validate you. I validate you. I authorize you." And people tithe into this place and don't know the sneaky hidden things, don't know the real reason why certain pastors are single and always find their bride there. For a handmaiden. It's a reason, it's a lot of stuff why embassies allow people to come here through that camp. It's a lot of stories I could tell you about your own government sitting back sleeping. That's why they can't overhaul nonprofit, because you're gonna have to overhaul your government. Who watches the ones who watches? It's a lot of stuff the church is allowed to do. I done told y'all the church, business, and government is in bed together. That's why y'all better stop some of these crooked preachers on TV. When all your churches are basically crooked for some price to some degree, look at all these denominations. Look how many people have been spiritually bullied by some of these chief apostles. How women are not allowed to preach, women are not allowed to do this, women. Look how much bullying. I know a woman that was a prophet and she was bullied. And then eventually she broke free and she got confused. And then she's confused. She's confused because she's traumatized. There's no counseling for spiritual abuse, spiritual sodomizing by religion. And I'm not talking about other religions because I'm talking about Christianity, which I keep telling you, I'm not a Christian. I'm a kingdom citizen. I'm not even be calling myself something in the Bible that was used as a derogatory word. No, no. And there's a lot of people don't really understand the Bible. They don't want to. And if you're getting bootlegged and bamboozled because there's a part of you that's lazy, that's allowing you to bend over. Yeah, the first time, that's one thing. But a lot of y'all are in cults. A lot of y'all are stuck in religious whoredom, religious pimping. And here it is, Brother Corey Holcomb is so wise, so gifted, so talented, so brilliant because God designed him to be an apostle. But because of bad PR and because he see fakeness and he see how Black people keep running to the church, it has not helped people. Dr. Umar Johnson believing in Marcus Garvey and all that stuff. He's believing in other things that's not what God wants because he see how much the church has played games in the name of we the church. Because they going off of the miracles in the Bible that Paul and Peter did, but the foundation of the church has been shambled. And the church is not allowing Jesus to be the head. Half of these people got God-like complexes. These denominations got all these rules. Let me tell you something about this camp. They brag that we pay an $8,000 electric bill. What fruit? Look how many people like Esther that have been there. Look how long it's people there that don't want to go there. It's so many people who used to respect that place don't respect it no more. Because after Sister Ruth died, look what happened to it. Where's the stories? In 2017, prophecies was told. Put out fires in Richmond. Richmond is about to get terrible. Go out there, let yourself be known. And look at it. Look at that baby that got killed in Midlothian Village. Look at the moment that got killed. Look at the chief police saying 17, 18-year-old. Who is going out? If this place is so holy and you love your neighbors yourself, why Richmond don't know that campus right there off of 95 at the Adley Elmont? Why is it them people not even versed to know anything about the streets or whatever, but yet they serving chicken hot dogs and telling the elderly, we tired, we working too many shifts. How many homeless girls have flirted with me at that camp that lived there? How much sex and oral sex has happened in some of them rooms back there where all them cats at? Come on now. And how many drinking parties has happened amongst the teenagers there? It's a lot of stuff that go there. The ones that think they watching ain't watching. Because it's amazing. We bragging. How many in-kind gifts not getting registered with the IRS? And then law enforcement and Hanover respect them or whatever. Why? Because they seem holy. It's amazing. And then half of y'all are not trained. What really just happened to my husband, I could prove that. I could tell you stories that goes to show these people in law enforcement are not qualified. They are not trained. They are not equipped. They are ignorant, but they work on the clock. How many of y'all as social services volunteer off the clock? And then y'all sit there and act nasty to people for asking for food stamps. And it's amazing. Y'all, it's certain people they question, certain people you don't. Your government is so crooked because your church is crooked, your businesses are crooked. And it's the church fault. Caesar gonna do what he gonna do. He gonna get away with it. It's the church fault. The church don't burst people on nothing. They don't equip you to overcome. They don't equip you. And all these different doctrines lead churches stay separate. That's the problem. You don't understand what that means, and people don't want to understand. Even the great Paul told Timothy, study to show yourself approved. Even though Paul knew he was an apostle, even though he knew he was a philosopher, still, even he humbled himself and told Timothy, you still need to study. And he knew Timothy's mama and grandma were versed in God, in the word. And he knew Timothy's father was a Greek that was smart. But still, you still need to study for your, all these pastors are allowed to bend y'all over because y'all like it. And then they, well, my pastor say, I get tired of hearing like pastor such and such say, in this book, what about the book? Why everybody gotta write a book to explain the book from their perspective in the series? And they make, I don't charge me a pastor yet because you on tour speaking. It's amazing the accommodations of some of your lead black teachers, preachers on TV charge to come, the accommodations and what they require 5-star. It's amazing of the treatment. Look at the lifestyle. Look at on Instagram. They got stylists. Look how many weeds and look how they stay fresh. They look fresh. It's an illusion. That's why, Thug Mrs. Kaya, that young lady is supposed to be leading a nation of women. That girl is gorgeous, gifted, and talented. And she be gagging people, but that girl don't know the calling that's on her life. I'm gonna tell you some of the most powerful people that's out there that's really changing paradigms. That's Tokyo Tony, Corey Holcomb, Kevin Samuels did the best he could. Who else? Jaguar, right? Yeah, they might got their flaws or whatever, but all of them been damaged by some type of religious, and it's the church. And you worry about how they're speaking, but it's some science and some knowledge. If you know how to listen, if you know how to chew the meat and spit the bones, you can really understand what Jaguar is doing, what Tokyo Tony is really doing, why y'all judging where she worked. But that girl risked her life to expose things. And poor Kanye is confused. Look how Kanye lost his mother. This woman was an English professor of tenure. And look at the reason why she died. Everybody is damaged. Some kind of emotional damage from American culture is dysfunctional because the church is allowing it. And now psychologists are proving a lot of cases of schizophrenia are tied to people in religion, especially people that believe in the Old Testament, which is not true, but because of the lack of honesty, pureness, righteousness, and holiness in your church leaders, your church teachers, your church seminary, and in parents. This is why we got an afflicted generation. And boys can sit up here and tell me how much they have sex with girls on their period and they enjoy it. They can openly tell me, here's the guy, the young people, openly discussing these things with me, and I'm sitting there about to puke my brains up, but I gotta hold my posture because I don't want them to think. You got gynecologists telling me so it's okay to have sex on your period on YouTube, or telling men the best way to techniques to masturbate is to healthy. All this stuff. This is because the church sit back and it's disrespectful. You can disrespect anybody. Then you got preachers on TV that's condemning people. He stay angry, and he's supposed to be the newest sensation and telling off. You see, all he do is pick fights and pick on people. He's not telling you solution. You better read that Bible. Everybody reads that Bible, and everybody got a different story and a different point of view. And it's amazing. Sororities and fraternities that are black can get together and put matching outfits and step, and bands can march and march. But y'all can't get together to go into communities to change. Why is Mr. Wong and Mr. Lee on all your liquor stores and selling fried chicken and you eating it? Why is everything owned by everybody in the hood but you? What churches are changing the paradigm of the little black boy so he don't have to think I got to be like Michael Jordan and own prisons to get that dollar? There's a reason why y'all talk about Puff Daddy. Didn't Puff Daddy mama say she was an evangelist? Don't he come to the Potter's house and take pictures? And everybody, the pictures, it's amazing. Y'all talk about Kirk Franklin, but look who some of his friends are. Look how he act. And look at his history. Look at how he had to run the Dominican Republic and call his counselor. I be watching all this stuff. And I be watching your singers. And it's amazing. Sister Pace, I think her name was LaShawn before she died. She was trying to tell y'all something. And y'all worry about who ain't singing at her funeral. There's a trail. There's a trail of a seed of unrighteousness that's grown in the church of today. It's not the bride of Christ. She's a dirty bird, skank hole bastard. That's what the church is of today. And all these denominations and churches and nonprofits up there, right there with them. And all these people, some of these people like Bodie is seen up, get up there. He just is numb. He ain't got no love. They don't have solutions. And they arguing over the Bible, debating over, but read that Bible, follow the Bible. Come on now, but look at the people in your church, look at the men. Like you another one. You got people up there like they scared of you. I bet you they scared to tell you anything. And you tell me, so my daughters would never listen to Beyonce. Well, let me tell you something. You keep talking about your daughters and you raise them the right way. It's a bunch of men waiting. They waiting to prove, and they're wolves salivating to get your daughters. You shouldn't be mentioning them. You should mention, say, young girls. I don't recommend young girls, to be honest, but my daughters don't dress like that. You keep on, and men are salivating to prove you wrong to get you. And why is it you got the latest topic and it's always complaining, but you have no solutions? That's one thing Corey Holcomb said about Kevin Samuels. He said he liked the brother, but he never had no solutions. Y'all need to watch Corey Holcomb. Y'all need to watch Glasses Malone. Stop worrying about the package and what they speak. Look at the genius. You can tell whatever God intended them to be in the womb. If you really got discerning eyes, you really could see who Tokyo Toni really is. Yeah, she might got some damages or whatever, but you really need to see what God put in Tokyo Toni. You need to see what God put in Brother Corey Holcomb. You need to see what God put in Glasses Malone. It's almost like, it's amazing. Man, if I had ever had the chance to sit down, the only people I would want to sit down and talk to is Tupac and Miles Monroe. If me, Tupac, and Miles Monroe could have had a conversation, ain't no telling. Me, Tupac, and Miles Monroe, if we had a conversation, we got things in common. We got things in common. We talking about with the heart. I'm talking about the manufactured specs of how God designed Tupac, how God designed Miles Monroe, how God designed Tokyo Toni, how God designed Corey Holcomb, how God designed Glasses Malone, how God really designed Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran changed my life. He changed my life watching him and seeing things. Watching O.J. Simpson changed my life. Watching him and seeing him. I can tell you who O.J. Simpson was born to be for real, who God wanted him to be. It's amazing. Every baby come out crying and taking their first breath. And when they go to kindergarten, they don't say, I want to be a hoe. I want to be a skank. I want to be an Instagram thought. They go there and say, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be nobody's, but somehow, even Jeffrey Dahmer, the one that was eating people, In kindergarten, he didn't say, well, I want to eat people, I want to eat stir-fried toenails. I'm just saying, and even Suge Knight, look how they said Maxine, his mama raised him. Suge walked in them streets growing up, but somehow something happens in the foundation in the hearts of people, and parents are not raising their children to overcome everything about a career. Go to college, go to college. And when you realize how many professors that's making kids anti-American, anti-believing God, professors who are some sick, twisted people that can't make it in the world, look at the rules. You take this class, well, you got to use this type of parenthetical documentation. And if you don't, regardless of how good your work is, if your margin ain't right, you get an F. And here it is, you can get a student loan and you can owe a loan whether you pass the class or not, because the teacher said, well, you didn't turn it in at 11:59 p.m. because your margins weren't right and you didn't follow my rules of formatting. You got all these rules of formatting, all these rules of this. It has nothing to do with the work and the education in school. And going to college has nothing to do about a job or career. So what your daughter going to college, but look how her mind is going to be twisted. Look how many cults and religions, children, and how much stuff. It's amazing how my friend's daughter, because her parents split up, she don't believe in God. So now she used to be behind, love her daddy or whatever. And now what she do? She going to college to prove that there is no God. That's why she going to college. She get these top degrees. She smoked drugs. She went to UVA and was getting grants and stuff. But she was smoking drugs, saying that's the government. Her mama could have turned her in to save her life. Knowing girls up there that got kidnapped in Charlottesville. Now she's somewhere in California. But one thing about that girl don't play with me and she don't talk that I don't believe in God stuff to me. It's amazing. I could tell you really what her mama was doing at State Police and Human Resource Department. I can tell you what she really do to black men. I can really tell you why she went to school to be a private detective and what she really do. I can tell you how many husbands, wives mysteriously get letters. I can tell you some things now. And it's amazing. A lot of these people were raised in Christian homes as children. You know, the foundation of a human being, you as a parent are responsible for setting the worldview of your child until they are mentally capable and mature enough to discern for themselves. Train a child in the way they should go. In other words, affect their worldview, create an atmosphere, and watch how you do when you get mad. Your children are watching you, how you solve problems, what you do. It ain't only in the black community, but it is the most dysfunctional community I know. It's amazing how the Latin community, it's amazing here in Texas. The only time you see a mother, father, children go out is when it's a Latino. They go to the grocery store together. They go to McDonald's together. That's the only time you see a family together, a family. And that's the only time you see little girls wearing dresses. Little girls wear, I see Latinos put dresses on their daughters. Not like other races, you can see the outline, the little girls' butts. You see low-cut shirts in other races. Avatar, these little girls with adult hairstyles, kids with iPhones at 4 years old. It's amazing how children are allowed to go on YouTube and see anything they want to. It's amazing how grandparents tell me something. I don't know that schoolwork. Are you asking me? It's amazing. If you're a parent and you got a child in school, that means you in school. You need to know everything, and your teacher should get tired of hearing from you. What is the curriculum? How many parents asked for a copy of the curriculum? How many parents asked why a textbook was chosen? I don't believe in public schools. I don't, because I know what public schools do to children. I don't believe in a lot of your private schools either. I don't. I believe in charter schools and homeschools. That's if your municipality govern homeschool and make you prove, because there are some municipalities, okay, you homeschool, okay, whatever. It don't matter if your child can read. I can tell you actually universities prefer homeschool children instead because they're self-disciplined. Because all you go to school to is to learn how to adapt and to change and everything and how to shift, how to be multifaceted. That's the ingredients that they train your SWAT, your special forces. All they teach you to do is adapt in situation and stay goal-oriented and know how to adapt. So if you're with the team or separated from the team, you can adapt, you can blend in, you can shift, you can be multifaceted. That's all it's about, is adapting. And y'all brag on these movies with SWAT and all that stuff. That stuff ain't, The way you raise your child, everybody's supposed to be trained like that. Every human's supposed to be trained in special forces when you come to Christ, because Christ is the one that owns the special forces. He's the one that give you the fivefold anointing to lead to the body. Everybody's supposed to be special forces if you in the kingdom of God. But a lot of y'all in the church of religion, and y'all not in the church of the kingdom of God. Y'all have no relationship with the king of the kingdom. That's why there ain't no fruit. I get tired of them bragging at that concentration. I call it the concentration camp because I can tell you more stories about what's being allowed. I have to do this because a lot of people's destinies are getting robbed. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I blame a lot of deaths on Richmond on that camp. I'm gonna tell you why. In 2017, and that's the last time a lot of these people who I said they were respectful people don't go there no more. They heard all the prophecies. It's amazing. At that camp, they hear the prophecies about how you bless, you the remnant, whatever. But when God corrects, when God can prune, when God rebukes, I'm telling you right now, when God reproofs, we don't hear them kind of prophecies. I've dealt with that with a church over there off of Midlothian Turnpike that was in the movie theater too. They ain't there no more. They somewhere there in Westchester Commons sharing buildings. And they were supposed to be the gateway into, you know what? That's what I'm saying. That's what you're not listening. You only hear what you want to hear. Anyway, so like this, it's like people brag. We got an $8,000 electric bill. We don't owe nobody. But look how much my ex-husband worked 2 jobs there. And here he is with COP working with mulch, and his supervisor was a man with an intellectual disability out in the heat, taking his medicines backwards, not eating, got a microwave that don't work. And how a blind man gonna work a microwave? It's amazing. It's amazing how my husband was not able to get his PET scan, but now he got cancer. And now because I have helped him get on his feet, now you grooming him to destruct. But God told me the reason why my husband has to suffer and be sick is because my husband will not repent. See, my God brother Timber keep telling him, repent for what you did. My mama and my husband, the reason why they were best friends, because both of them, I've never heard them really repent over anything they've ever done. It's what other people have done to them. They never repented. Lord knows I spent a lot of time repenting for what I did and confessing. See, you have to confess, which means you agree with the Holy Spirit when He convicts you. Then you repent by saying, I turn and help me turn. Then you get purged. You need to read Isaiah chapter 6. That's the order. Confess, turn, be purged. Then you can be commissioned. But some of these people, like the lady there that act like the Godfather there, you wouldn't believe that lady been picking on me since the first day she laid eyes on me, long before I met my husband, which I told him. She been picking and picking, and how she done told me lies in the sanctuary and worship, and how she got her little Bridget telling me lies. She got her spies. But really, and I can tell you some stories about some ungodly things that go on there the child don't get to see when the camera on. I've been there. I done stayed there. When the camera's not on, the crowd not there. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a form of perversion of stopping people from their destiny, robbing people from their destiny who got emotional baggage, who are afraid of the world, who's hiding behind religions in the name of we righteous. You're not, because God said, go put fires out in Richmond. And that's why the chief of police was crying, because he said all the killers are 17 and 18. Same thing happened in Petersburg. They shooting, they killing because the church is not involved. The church is not changing because the church is related to the killers. Everybody got a great big old grandma or somebody in the family to go for moaning and praying and making salve and all this stuff to heal it. When she died, what happened? She didn't educate you. And you ashamed of her because she scrubbed floors, because while you got a little internet in your house now, you ashamed? It's a lot of deep, dirty dysfunction in your skanky, whole religious church of the day. It's a dirty bride. It ain't nothing but a Gomer. And it's a self-righteous Gomer. And that's why marriages are breaking up, because people don't understand the power of covenant. They don't know the word about the covenant. That's why girls can do what they do today and fall in love with men in the NBA or whatever and go on TV and fight each other. Look at poor Nene Leakes. Lord knows I love Nene Leakes. I look up to her because there's something I saw God put in her. But look at her, she makes me cry. She keep getting surgery. She keep being on TV and on everything. I love Nene and I love Portia. That's one person I can't watch. When I watch Portia, Hosea Williams' granddaughter, I get sick. What they've turned that girl into and what she thinks she is. She's not who God called her to be. Portia is supposed to be a lady of the Lord. Nene is supposed to be leading a nation of women.
Nene is smart, gifted, and talented. Sometimes I think that's why Sheree hate on her. Look at poor Sheree. She's validated by what? Look at Candy. Why do y'all look up to this girl? Why do y'all look up to her? Why? Because she got money and she supposed to go hard? And look at poor Cynthia. The first time I saw Cynthia, I didn't know she was a model. I never heard of her. But I saw something in her heart. And now look what she's become. Garcia Bouvier is another one. I saw something in her when I was younger. I can see what God put in you, and I can see what you've become now. The twins from sister to sister. I can tell you who I saw they were when God birthed them. I can see who God birthed Teddy Campbell to be. I can see who God birthed Michael Jackson to be. Y'all are wrong. Y'all sit there and participate and watch these people's lives get ruined. And you sit there and let them validate themselves. Why? Because they look good, they sing good. It's amazing. It's a lot God got to say, but it's the church fault because these things should not be happening. Your kids buy their music or do whatever and watch these shows and do all this stuff on Instagram and TikTok, whatever, because mom and daddy ain't right. And some of y'all go for y'all holy because why? You go to church 7 days a week and you go for whatever. But it's not right. You're hiding behind religion. You're not equipping people to overcome. You're not sacrificing. I get tired of these churches prophesying to themselves how big they're gonna blow up or whatever. When ain't nobody going to hood chasing paradigm. And Poe Charleston White is so confused. He's so confused. One minute he quotes scripture, next minute he called it. He don't understand the mindset of Melvin Farmer. That's why when they was on Boss Talk, I wanted Melvin Farmer to rock him, to wake him up from his dream. And Poe Ayatollah Mob sit there with dignity and respect, talk real calm, don't get emotional. And I don't like that radio show. Because I can tell you stories how they're not helping. They will never assist in anybody find out what really happened in Pimp C. Because all of them are the same product of the same communities that make things happen to people like Pimp C. And it's amazing how some of these old hip hop heads still talking that game stuff. You don't understand why people like Biggie was the way he was. You don't understand the fabric and the mindset of people. Poe Gene Deal do the best he can, but sometimes he seems a little confused too. And I got a lot of respect for Gene Deal. I do. But no, I'm not really into Reggie Wright Jr. I'm not. It's amazing. He's alive today after almost dying from COVID. And he talking that stuff at his age, but you was a crooked cop. You was a crooked cop, and you know how to throw little nice entries. We have what you call a good dude I like and whatever. Stop playing these mind games. You know a lot about mind games, but your mind games are obvious. And people looking at why y'all got a new video? Why y'all podcasters got the latest video every day? You don't allow people time to what? You really don't want people to sit there and raise their kids or go do this, go do. You want them to watch your latest, greatest new video. And a lot of y'all podcasters, I have contacted y'all. Y'all don't want the real story. Y'all want what's gonna keep y'all looking hard. Y'all go for y'all conspiracy theories and y'all tell it like it is. But why you gotta get monetized to tell it like it is? Why you gotta get how you gotta monetize your channel? Even why you not doing like Mario Cirillo, getting tents, going to neighborhoods with microphone? Why you gotta do it? And just stop saying one video can reach masses. Everybody don't go on YouTube, and you got too much competition. Why aren't you going to the people? Why aren't you teaching people? Why aren't you holding charges to these religious leaders and explaining? You can't articulate yourselves enough to explain that Bible. You know why? Because see, the Bible is it's actually not hard to understand. It's your heart. If your heart ain't right, you'll never understand or receive it. But if you purely are hungry for righteousness, truth, and a pure heart, and to bless and to love. See, if your motive in your heart is not to love everything God says, even when it's hard or even when it's easy, then that's why y'all confused. That's why one minute you preaching against religion, one minute you saying God bless, one minute you saying kiss my, and one minute saying F this, and it's sickening. Then some of y'all join the other religions, but I'll never forget Jesus. It's sickening because it's a heart thing. And the reason why you keep getting these dirty leaders in government, because when you get a dirty leader, that means you dirty. God would never take a righteous people and really get him a dirty leader. Come on now. And if he do be dirty, then why the righteous people not interceding and commanding in the spirit that he changed? It's a lot of stuff in that Bible we ignore and skip. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't listen to gospel music. And I'm sick of some of these worship leaders and these praise team leaders. All of y'all got the same style. Watch it. You can tell the latest trend. The latest, I'm getting tired of all y'all thinking everything about speaking in tongues and shouting. First of all, if you build yourself up through speaking in tongues, then it's almost like getting filled up with energy to use. You eat carbs or whatever to have energy. All this shouting, all this whatever. What about the spiritual act of worship in Romans chapter 12? What about your spiritual act of worship? What about love? Ain't nobody got no love. Churches over here, over there, and really the world, the government and business be copying off churches. They be copying. A lot of times they use biblical principles, even ungodly things that's structural that they're able to do. They understand. I'm saying it's amazing. Why y'all preachers on there and all y'all podcasts and some don't listen to Beyonce album? But where was y'all back when Beyonce was little and her parents refinanced and everything? Look at this Houston. Do you realize how much demonic power is in Houston? In the churches and all these pastors marrying former basketball players' wives, and then he famous. Watch him, Kiki. Watch how all his pants fit him. Ain't that the same thing the Temptations did to make their penis look big? And these women are not ladies. How you gonna start a show with basketball holes and then you a first wife, you a first lady? Come on now. Come on now. And hear your ex-husband up there crying because he feel guilty because he didn't know how to write a resume because he's never had a job and he's so blessed he feel guilty. That's what I'm saying. And why he gotta be famous because he married you? Look how quick was the engagement, the marriage, and how there was a parade. But look at what I can tell you what's going on in Houston. I'm here. All these powerful preachers on TV right here in Houston, and look at the fact. I can tell you what's going on. And watch the communities that these mega churches and these powerful people, they got all this fancy stuff, fog machines and skinny jeans. They pimping you, and you as members like it because you're a part of. I'm validated because I roll with Pastor Kiki and I roll with Snakes, him and his daughters, and Snakes. It's amazing. Some people I know, and you know who I'm talking about. You there in Dallas. I met you, and I can tell you really why God let me not tell what you did. And it's amazing how your assistant Beverly says she'll call you back. She don't call you back. She don't email you back. Yeah, what is Beverly robbing? Who is she robbing? It's amazing how there's some pastors from West Virginia that came to me in 2008 because they knew the ship was going to go down, and it's going to go down. And they wanted me to help. It's amazing how Miss whatever her name, I got gray braids and I'm married to Snakes. It's amazing how her assistant came to me. It's amazing. A lot of people in West Virginia have come to me because they know they need me to help you. Because they know you were supposed to be somebody who was supposed to stand the test of time, not join in it. It's amazing. Some of these people are gods to y'all. Some of y'all are bad, and it's amazing. Watch some of these churches. Every time the pastor preaches, the girl that got the powerful voice gonna sing lyrics that match his sermon. Look how orchestrated a production this is. Look at the communities around, and look, every good deed they do, they gotta put it on their website or they got whatever. But look at the mindset. Look how you can tell if a church is supposed to be famous. See what they did when they could hit the community. See how it holds the police accountable. See how it holds politicians accountable. See what it does to mothers, fathers. See how much the hood done change. See how much the hood done change. See how much the school system curriculum have changed. You can always tell when the light is there. But you see so much darkness around these buildings, these communities, and you can see how they get these fancy buildings. They only open at certain times. It's amazing how many churches got fellowship halls and catering companies, and you can bring alcohol into the fellowship hall and do whatever you want if you rent it. It's amazing. And we're gonna open a community center. What community center? How many of y'all own schools? Schools that teach righteousness for parents who do have to work. How many train people on how to do things without getting a mortgage? You know, I don't believe in mortgages and car payments. I don't. I'm not getting in debt. I did that stupid stuff going to these seminaries or whatever for what? And how many credits I got? How many times I've had to unenroll and you still take my money? Because I can tell you what Regent University has done to me. And I've tried to contact Pat Robinson to tell him. And I don't think he's getting my message, what they've done to me, how many times I almost died. Not once do I get a phone call. They get message, how I've been talked to. It's amazing. I could tell you stories to disqualify that school. I could really tell you what's going on at Liberty University.
I can really tell you what go on. I can really tell you what going on. It ain't just men pulling their zipper down and wives dating the pool boy. It's been going on since I lived in Lynchburg back in 1993. I've been knowing some things. I can tell you what these schools, they got NCAA and they go for Christian schools and why they, who they go get in the hood. And I can tell you some things there for the basics of that basketball and who really doing who homework. It's amazing. The church is in bed with the government and business. This is the point. It's the bride's fault. Because the bride crooked, then the baby's gonna be crooked. You understand? And Jesus is the bridegroom, and he ain't crooked. So he ain't coming back for no dirty bird skank thought. The church of today is a dirty bird skank thought because it's a religion. It is not the kingdom of God church. It's not kingdom culture. It's not kingdom citizenship. It's amazing. And how y'all still celebrating Azusa Street when my professor said he used to be a professor at the Azusa school, and look what they got going on there now. Ungodly. I can tell you stories where we got everything in the news that's going on that's devastation. It's because your church let it happen. Because for certain prices, I got mammon. I got to serve mammon, or I got to serve my appetite. How many of y'all, I'm treated as a weirdo. I'm persecuted by my own blood family. Here it is, a lady 70 years old tried to appeal to my little brother to help me. Don't be giving my phone about. It's amazing. Everybody want to come to his wedding because he's marrying a doctor. And it's amazing what my cousin Anki said, why he didn't go, what really was happening. And it's amazing how I was treated. And they would never understand the story of Gomer and Hosea because that church don't explain stories of Gomer and Hosea because they don't understand. They are Gomer. That whole community in Meade County, all the churches are Gomer. That's why y'all complain about Sheriff Walker and all the conspiracy and Sheriff Weaver and all the conspiracy, but look at your churches. Look how some black people is confused. Some black people love white people as validating them. That's what's wrong with my stepson. Mighty Whitey validates him because he want a family because he know where he come from. He know his mama's side. He know his daddy's side. He's ashamed. He confused. Look at my husband. What kind of parent is he? I had to marry him to prove to you that the church of the world, and plus my husband was raised Jehovah's Witness until they kicked his mama out because they said she was trying to screw them into the Kingdom Hall. My husband had so many religions, and some of his family members go for their chief priests and chief monkeys and chief whatever. And it's amazing how much condemnation they've done to the family, and they trapping people. And look what happened to poor Gary when he was in foster care. Look at what cousin SH, what she did to him, and how my husband said he's ashamed of his sister. It's amazing, but she like to talk smart to me, yet she under mind control from somebody that's twirling in church. It's some ungodly perversion. I've been to a church in New Jersey that was in the basement, and I thought I was in a porn hub. Literally in the spirit, I could see like perversion. I thought I was in a porn shop in a porn movie. My husband was sitting there asleep. My husband said his whole life, he never been serious about religion, God, Christ, nothing, until he got with me. And I did the best I could to help him. My husband went to Bible college. Every Sunday, me, him, and Kissy had Bible college together. And it's amazing. It's amazing. My husband is a user, a manipulator. He has never confessed what he did. So that's why he's perishing in the inside. He done forgot what happened when he was in that funnel with that sulfur. It's amazing what happened, what they did to him, how they neglected him. But they're going to treat him real good right now because the whole world is finding out about that concentration camp. And I'm sorry, social worker. Why did it take a week for y'all to see him? I called just for a wellness check. All I asked was just to lay eyes and ask if he okay. But your Dr. Doolittle at the concentration camp denied you. So that's why I had to go public. And when I had started sending messages to the governor and the mayor, then you're going to jump in a week later. What if my husband hadn't missed? And so what? I'm saying, I said, he don't know the name prescription, all of his diagnosis. I do. I packed his medicine. I taught him all that. Well, he said he taking, which medicine he taking? He said a lot. That's what somebody from Adult Protectors, your husband said he fine, he taking a lot. And here it is, who packed that bag? Who put the medical files in that bag? Who? And then he go, the officer picked him or something. Well, if the psychiatrist want to call you for what? You a hired whore. Your police officers are nothing but hired whores for the government. They don't got no power. They got to enforce laws that other whores write from one hole to another. Because your church let your politicians whore you. Your church let your politicians whore you. That's why you got a crooked America that's leading a crooked world. Whores. That's why you got crooked universities. Everything is crooked because of your church. That's the reason why. Look, that's the reason why in the book of Revelations, look what the Lord does with the seven churches. That's the reason why the Antichrist coming. Is because of the seven churches. Remember the only one church, the Church of Philadelphia? What about that other church? I think it was in chapter 3. I stand at the door and knock. They too busy having church and can't see that Jesus is knocking. And I'm sorry, the day is coming. A lot of y'all prophets, they're supposed to be big time prophets that write these books. Y'all got secret networks. Black people ain't never heard of some of these prophets that have prophesied Hurricane Katrina, that prophesied 9/11. Y'all, and you, first of all, you don't understand prophecy because, see, it's because of the church. It's the reason why they did what they did in 9/11. You know the real 9/11 ain't what they on TV and what you're told. And you know the real reason why they snuffed out Osama. You know the real reason, the truth has really come out. Y'all will lose y'all mind. This video might not ever make the light of day, but I don't care because I'm putting it in the atmosphere. I'm putting the truth in the atmosphere to show the Holy Spirit I'm co-laboring with you. You will convict, and God the judge will deal. And Satan will have free reign in people because he will have a legal right. And it's your church fault. And when Christ come back, he gonna have a clean bride, but she gonna be just as slim and trim. Because all these churches are not of God. Your church of today is a dirty bird skank hole. A dirty bird skank hole. And if you're really smart as a pastor and you understand the mindset of why God let that book by Iceberg Slim come out, you will understand that's how the devil worked. That's how your capitalism worked. That's how your churches work. Iceberg Slim probably was supposed to be an apostle. He explains the mindset and the fabric of the devil, how to enslave you and treat you like a good hoe and make you committed. And I'm sorry to tell you, most of your pastors, most of your church people ain't nothing but hoes. They hoes in a spiritual way. See, just because you ain't having physical sex, they mean you ain't screwing and perverting somebody's life and you ain't molesting somebody's destiny and calling. But back to putting fires out in Richmond, Virginia. That baby and that girl that got killed from that gun war at Midlothian Village, yeah, that could have been stopped. All that stuff that go on in the hood and all them things in Richmond, Virginia, that could have been stopped because that camp was told to do that. And the male lead at the camp, second in command, he was told, you supposed to be working with politicians in Virginia. I was there. I was there. I heard the prophecy. And I heard that the ship gonna go down at that camp and it's gonna take Brother Malik in Washington, D.C. to come back to fix it. See, God said it right there in that tabernacle. He said it. Malik gonna have to come back and save it. Then eventually it's gonna fall down again because Sasha gonna have to save it. The one you rejected is gonna be the one that's gonna eventually save it once and for all. And I told Sasha that my vehicle, one of these old days, girl, you're gonna have to come back and save that camp. Malik gonna do the best he can to redeem it, but it's too many hidden deep roots. And as long as the IRS don't check everything, and as long as private investigators and law enforcement don't send people to infiltrate what's really going on in there, then Malik can only do but so much. It's amazing what happened when worship lights turn out. And it's amazing how many laws been broken against my husband and how many disabled people being violated there. It's spiritual perversion. And it's amazing. And it's okay what's happening to my husband because he's allowing it. They can do what they do to him and his son can do what they do because they ain't got no love. Because if you knew the condition I was in, and God told me 2 years ago my husband was going to do this. It's amazing what my God brother Tim and Pastor Sam been trying to tell my husband. It's amazing. My husband know the truth, but for the sake of $724 Social Security check that he earned. And it's amazing what Social Security got in the computer about his wife and him. It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't even think my marriage is even legal. It's amazing. It's a lot of flim flam stuff and family members that work for Social Security Administration. Mighty funny. See, cousin Tony don't really know what she dealing with. And she don't know what she dealing with. My husband said she got mental problems. She been admitted before. Y'all don't know what y'all dealing with. If my husband not taking all 3 of them psychological medicines, which one of them is supposed to be under review and hasn't been reviewed since last year, I can tell you your fallacies in your mental health organizations. I can tell you how they're enslaving people with medicine. Your church is ignorant. Your church is ignorant because she chooses to be. Because it's no love there. If you don't have love, you have nothing. And that's why the church is dirty, filthy. It's amazing how many people at AA been raped in churches and they blame Jesus. Everybody blames Jesus. And none of these preachers can explain certain things, why certain things happen that's evil. Because they don't know the word. They know of the word and speak of the word, but they don't
It's this. I'm gonna just explain it to you like this. In the Bible, when a husband and wife get intimate, if you know what I mean, it's called he knew her. But when anybody fornicated or done adultery, I always say he laid with her. I'm gonna tell you right now, your everyday religion, especially your churches, they lay with a deity they name Jesus, but they don't know him. Because when you know him and you come together and you understand the shedding of his blood, and there's intimacy, like Romans chapter 12 tell you, and there's intimacy like what David did in the Psalms, then you will produce something like get pregnant in the spirit or get pregnant and birth things, new inventions, new this, new this. Why the church is not the forefront of new inventions, new upgrades to everything? Why is the church not the forefront for new solutions? Because they lay with a deity that they name Jesus and they don't know him. They don't know him. There's no fruit. There's no seed, bearing seed, bearing seed. There's nothing that shows evidence that the church is who they say. They're a bunch of bald-mouthed liars. But I love what I think I keep saying Mario Cirillo. I think that's his name. But some of them shows you on, like it's super, see it, whatever. That's nope. It's amazing how you got to get in contact. You can't. It's amazing. Kim Clements, I'm gonna tell you like now, they still using his name and his prophecies, but 24/7, you can do a donation, but you can't get a response. If you gotta be, it depends on who you are and your power. Even Dr. Bridges, ever since he went on said to say donate, don't to minister to pray for Donald Trump or whether he like Trump because of the dream. But look how pretty he is. Look how articulate, look how some of these men I question their masculinity. Some of these people that got these podcasts or whatever, how many of y'all are going out in the streets and doing things to help mothers learn how to raise men? Why you gotta be monetized? And why most of your stuff is American geared when YouTube is a global channel? I'm watching y'all. And y'all cannot complain about Beyonce when y'all create an atmosphere and a society, a worldview where you can have your Beyoncés. You can't have your Cardi B's. You can't have your Sukianas crying out saying she made a deal with the devil. You can't have your Cardi B's crying. You can't have your Nicki Minaj where the courts is blaming her for why her husband is not a good sex offender no more. When the courts is blaming Nicki Minaj for her husband not being a good registered sex offender. And yet y'all bragging on how much money she got and whatever. Come on now. Then y'all laugh at Little Kim, but when Little Kim tell you the reason why she keep having plastic surgery, how many of y'all churches, some of y'all churches, Bishop Hootie Booty, baptized Little Kim, but how many of y'all are praying, having intercessory prayer meetings? How many of y'all having all intercessory prayer meetings over the phone in person for some of these hip hop people for Lil, what's his name, Lil Durk? How many of y'all have tried to have intercessory prayer meetings for King Von when he was living? How many of y'all is praying for them Ciroc boys? How many of y'all, it's a shame, hip hop. How many of y'all praying and teaching? How many of y'all learning from Lil Bootsy? Yeah, I know Lil Bootsy got his little way that might seem street, but Lil Bootsy is like a master genius. Little Bootsy was born to lead a nation. He's bigger than Apostle. Little Bootsy was born to lead a nation. This man is so brilliant and so powerful. Another one that I wish they would just step into who God calls is Too Short. Too Short is another one. There's certain people who are supposed to be generals and giants in the army of God. But the crooked society, from crooked preachers, this ain't nothing new now. Look at back in the day during the Montgomery bus boycott, when everybody had the carpool. Don't get in my car with them dirty shoes. My car, it's amazing how Black people value a car. Black people value things that's tangible. And this stuff didn't just start it. It's amazing what they doing, how they using West Africans to groom you, and how they taking over healthcare, how they taking over your prison systems. And they're here to assist the man to enslave you. Certain things Dr. Umar Johnson says is right and certain things is not. But I know how to chew the meat and spell the bones with him. Everybody else I hear. Even Minister Farrakhan speaks more truth than your Reverend Al, you know who, with the perm. I don't even believe in the same deity that Minister Farrakhan. But Minister Farrakhan, no, I actually respect him actually. And it's actually, I know his babysitter, him and his wife Khadijah's babysitter. I ended up hiring her. Remember? But if you remember her, she used to work for Elijah Muhammad. He named her when she came to Islam, but she left Islam, but she kept her Islam. I hired her. I've hired her to show how I infiltrated the school system with violation of your free, appropriate public education. When it comes to the IEP process in Amelia County, Chesterfield County, Richmond, Virginia, must I tell you? And I didn't continue with that, but I used to go in churches asking So I started doing it at libraries. The libraries would let me have free conferences. There's a woman that drove from Williamsburg all the way to Henrico when I had a conference on the IEP program and couldn't find out her child don't have an IEP. She had a 504. She ain't got a leg to stand on. That's a behavior modification. The Bible calls those things precepts. A precept ain't nothing but a 504 plan. See how the school system used things from the Bible? Somebody is infiltrating something, and it's amazing. They using things that's in the Bible to chokehold you because the church got you ignorant. They got you drunk. But everybody's shouting and everybody, all these new worship singers, I can name all of them. They making me sick to my stomach. They making me sick to my stomach. How many doing program? How many churches got buildings where it can be free? I have offered free conferences. I've taught workshops on how to start godly businesses. Everything I've done, I've done for free. Before long, before I registered as a nonprofit. It's amazing. It's amazing how much for 22 years, I taught the song Ishe Oluwa to churches throughout Central Virginia. For 22 years, I taught Yoruba. The church is understanding about the handiwork of God. Everything I've ever done, I usually do it as a nonprofit without even registering, without even being an entity. I just do it myself, buying plane tickets for people in the synagogue to get back to their parents because they were tricked to go to synagogue. What? For labor? How many Igbos did I help get back to their country? Things I've done for over 20-some years out of my own pockets. My ex-husband can tell you how many times I done faxed $40 faxes to DC to prove things that schools is doing. How many single mothers have I helped that the school systems was railroaded? My ex-husband can tell you. He funded it. My ex-husband funded a lot of stuff when I was volunteering, when I was a housewife. I gotta tell you now, me and my ex-husband, we worked as a good team, even though we weren't meant to be married as lovers or anything, because that, no. But really, I've always prayed to get back to working in ministry with my ex-husband, because I want to help him help these homosexual people find out their true identity. Because my ex-husband gonna come back to Christ. I ain't mad with him. We both were trashy, shysty. We both did each other wrong in marriage. Because we both come from some dysfunctional, afflicted church families and communities. I could tell you about the whoredom and the sickness and the evilness of Winter Park, Virginia. I can tell you about some stuff. A lot of girls' lives are messed up because they come from some of this family. It's amazing. Some of these churches and how church people judge and she the church whole and whatever. How in the world you go? How many prayer meetings have you had with your other deacons about this girl? How many times have you tried to snatch these girls' souls at the pit of hell? That's why these girls are worshiping girls. That's why these girls want to be boys now. All this lesbian stuff is cool. Bull daughters. They call them bull daggers where I'm from, bull daughters. That's why you got your actress up there. They always had to flower her hair, faking like she married to that girl. Watch them there, watch them. Watch Niecy there, watch her there. Watch how she posed for the camera. Everything is to make sure the camera get. If you watch these, first of all, they won't kiss it. The people who say, "Oh, they ain't married." They this is program. Then they start kissing. They start a peck on the cheek and let the other girl that's hungry for her. And if you such like a boy, like a man, why you got a girl name? Y'all are sick. And you doing a fake marriage. And look how your career shot up. Look at Debray. Now you see her on TV all the time. We people forgot she existed. And we know her real love was AI. We know she wounded. She really don't like big booty. You know what? Kaya gonna call it out. Kaya call it. How you gonna be a stud and you walk around with eyelashes and makeup and you being studied? And it's amazing how people go for their dad as preachers and they singing gospel songs with Marvin Sapp 1 minute. And next minute you doing late night dildos and you can your husband, everybody know his husband, you the wife. Now they laugh at Stedman, they call Todd another Stedman. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Y'all women, and your mama, Mon Dukes or whatever they want to call it, it's disgusting. And here it is, you got the girl in Dallas that go for she's supposed to be whatever, ain't making no records, but yet she's selling her vagina juice as cologne. These witches. Then you got Scary J. Blige. She was broke, and it's amazing her documentary. Everything is Puffy and Andre Herrera and all these people. But look what the other people did for. And I'm sorry to tell you, poor Kirk Burroughs, God bless your heart, but you knew this boy was a monster. You knew all them contracts. You knew what he was doing. And then when he did you wrong, when he did you wrong, you can't dance with the devil and ask Jesus the DJ. You can't shack up with Satan and ask Jesus to pay the rent. It's the reason why you got your puffies. It's the reason why you got whatever. You got all these people, your whatever their name, Leah Coins. It's the reason why you got your Irv Gottis. It's the reason why you got your 50 cents. It's the reason why 1 minute Trick Daddy tell me some cooking lamb, the next thing tell me somebody tossing his salad. Some of your mouth act, I don't want to know about how to cook nothing from nobody. Somebody eating and tossing his salad. That's and your name is Trick Daddy. No. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. Y'all are disgusted. And Po Lala, her whole image when she was on MTV, she seemed like a really good girl. And then it's all about her body. What y'all gonna do when them bodies quit? What you would do if you remember that time Gloria and Stefan them was in that accident, how crippled Gloria was? And you don't think the same thing can happen to you? You can't be in a car accident and you get your leg attached to your forehead. You don't think something could happen to you? You could end up getting artery cancer, and every time your heart beat, y'all don't think that. Everything is when the camera's on, and Black people have sold out to being a camera. This is your modern day step and fetch it, little Black Sambo. And stop saying you want reparations. Stop saying it. What you gonna do? Spend it on a new BBL? What you gonna spend it on getting a little take and date? A new iPhone? What are you gonna do? You don't understand, but some of y'all are Esau's have turned down. This girl gonna ask me, how can we get Big Mama's house back? Big Mama been dead 10 years and y'all ain't paid taxes because y'all fighting over who gonna do what in the inheritance. Big Mama didn't have her paperwork straight. So everything she worked for, scrubbing floors, that house, come on now, stop blaming the man from coming in the house and revitalizing the hood and turning it to rich white neighborhoods. Stop that. Stop blaming them. And all this, whatever the white man taught. Well, if you're smart enough to point that finger, then you should be getting people together and you should be doing things and stop doing things on YouTube. It's not working. Dr. Umar Johnson, you're not doing enough. The way you're doing it, and stop this honorable Marcus Garvey, stop this stuff. Ain't that what got Malcolm X daddy killed? This man, stop this. It's like this. I respect people like Marcus Garvey, Nietzsche, Confucius, Mahatma Gandhi, but there's only one mediator, Jesus. And I'm trying to tell you, because you wounded or because you judge because of the dirty deeds of your ancestors in the church and your community, now you blaming Jesus. No. Jesus allows this to happen for a reason, to show you that man ain't nothing but trash. And it's only him that can clean up trash. His blood is the only thing that can clean up a trashy man. His blood. That's but God ain't gonna sodomize or force you to come to him. He give you options, free will to choose. You have a free will to choose. Do I want to love God or do I want to love this world? He give you free will. So that way he can say he ain't forcing you to follow. God ain't forcing followers. But God ain't gonna play. He got his judgment too. And he got his rules. He got his law. So all of y'all in law enforcement walking around with a gun, what you gonna do when God's gun gets you? When you choke or have an aneurysm or when your daughter die, whatever, you're gonna be weeping and crying because you law enforcement, but you ain't even writing the laws you enforcing. And then they letting y'all go to jail. Why? Because all the Black people rioted and they tired of, them 3 witches from Black Lives Matter, and them did and whatever. And they shut down your police department up north. But did anybody ask during the riots when they shut the police department up in the Northwest, where were them bands coming from when people were disappearing? Who held the law up there? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And y'all tell me something, this conspiracy of the CIA. What about the special forces of the church? God's government is more powerful than any government on earth, in the universe. And if you work for God, then your CIA won't be to hide stuff. Your FBI won't be to do stuff because you'll be watching and you'll know how to infiltrate their organizations and expose them. The church is wicked and weak, and the world is going to hell in a handbasket because of your church. She's a skank hole BI. Them bees and hoes that Snoop rapping about, really, that's the churches. That's the church. She's the new skank. And now she not ashamed. It's amazing. Certain old gospel singers used to sing about worship. I do worship you. And look at him now. You sell out to a certain degree. Tell us something, yeah, you can twerk as long as you don't bend over. And then you got Pastor Pizza Rolls. Read that Bible, the Bible said. That man is bitter. He don't have no solutions. He tell you read the Bible. People been reading the Bible for 1,000 years and they still got it twisted. What is that? And you're not giving solutions. All you do is complain. What is your church doing? And who are the people in your church? Watch these people on Instagram and these churches on Facebook and all these churches everywhere on TV, lights, camera, production. They got editing. But look at the community around them. Who are the eyes and ears of their church? What's the testimony of their witnesses? What are they doing in the community? What community is shifting? What new school systems? What universities that's not charging nothing? Look at all these pastors guys. I'm Dr. I'm the real Dr. Jazzy J. I'm the real Dr. This. And who are you teaching? What seminaries you're opening for free? What programs you doing for free in the hood? What are you teaching as hermeneutical principles on everything? How are we teaching the true apologetics? Christians don't even know what the word apologetics. People don't even know what millennial reign of Christ is. They really think we're gonna be asleep or we're gonna rise, go with you, we go. Stop that singing songs. I'm going up yonder. You ain't doing nothing down here. You just want your prize and that's it. I want to live good and be blessed here, and I want to go to heaven and shout forever. But what did you do? What did you do? What did you give up? Is your all on the altar? People don't know, and you wouldn't believe what's being done to me. And I'm sorry to tell you right now, if you know my mother, then you would never even speak to her. You'll be having prayer meetings to pray for her to come out the shackles that she all. If you knew what she's facilitating, if you knew what happened to me and my older brother, and you know how my younger brother's confused, and you know what's happened to my Uncle Meriwether, if you know what's happening to my aunt, if you know these people be deacons in the church, and look at our family. I can tell you stories of my own family of betrayal, whoredom, incest, sickness, smothering bullies. I come from a family that I come from, put it this way, after everything my own mother has done to me, nobody can hurt me no more. Nobody can hurt me, nobody can harm me, because I've been betrayed by the worst. You know how I'm considered ugly because why I don't look like her? Let her take that makeup and that wigs off. Let her not put that dye in her hair. Let her not try to talk proper. Let her not try to wear stilettos. I'm telling you right now, I have to expose my own mother because I've been warning her for over 30 years that I told her God said, tell it all. And I can tell you what she done told me about my own father. I had to expose my mother to tell you, mother, look at my girlfriend Aisha. Look at her mama. Me and Aisha bonded because of our mothers. The damage. Me and my girlfriend, my former friend Wanda, we bonded because our mothers. Anytime you commit adultery and you let teenagers keep your little girl, and when you give her a bath and you touch her vagina to wash her, she's screaming and hollering her vagina sore. And what you do, you scrub it harder and you blaming Uncle Pluty? But what happened to you and you blaming Joe? Look where you come from. Let's tell what was going on in Maryland. One of the best things is Papa Joe brought you to Virginia. And your sons are sick, confused. They like whores and women, and they like sick stuff. Them boys crazy. Y'all have ruined them boys. I hung out with that family in Chula and in Tyler's area of Jamaica. I can tell you stories about the hidden secrets about the man that got 5,000 kids and someone was next door. I can tell you why the boy had to be a kingpin drug dealer and why the mama lost her job when she would do it again to save him. I can tell you where it all come from. I can tell you why cousin. I can tell you really why Lisa done what she did, and now she's trying to act like an honorable mother and proud of her kids and grandkids. I can tell you what really happened to Sandy. I can really tell you how certain family members at 14 was required to get an abortion to save her future, and she done had about 5,000 abortions. And she just is crazy. I can tell you why certain family members, two family members dead because of her. And y'all think that girl is good, and y'all wonder why I don't talk to her, why I ain't go to her daddy's funeral. I can really tell you about how sick she is. And whatever my brother-in-law did to her, she welcomed it. She likes monsters. I can tell you about other monsters she been with. Monsters like monsters. Monsters beget monsters. I can tell you stories about some of them families that are supposed to be apostolic or whatever, and they come on their kids and kill everybody in the family. And then kill their wife, their sister, children. There's a lot of stuff. Y'all better stop acting like y'all ignore this stuff. Stop respecting people. Why? Because they don't come, they don't shoot, they don't drink, and they just mind their own business. Yeah, watch out for them silent people. When people that act like they play that role. It's I can tell you, I can name a church. And if I know the name of the church in Amelia County, Nottaway County, then I can tell you some stuff that'll make you sick. Your preachers on TV in Richmond, Virginia, I can, make you sick. Some of your churches supposed to be big time, got bail bond services, got this, got this. How many times y'all got a corporate fire to come and fire everybody on Fendall? It's amazing what some of them churches on TV really do.
I can tell you some stories about your prophets. That's watch some of these preachers that why all their suits fit a certain way. It's tight around the butt area and the thigh area. Watch some of these preachers like that, and watch some of how they treat their staff. Watch how some preachers all they do is just sing. They sing their sermons. They sing, and if they go to a church and the church band can't keep up with the song, y'all don't know church music. I thought the Holy Spirit can write a new song right there in worship. It's amazing. The only denomination is holiness. Oh yeah, that's one of the ones. That's one denomination that most of them men in prison because their mama and grandma was in them religions. Them churches like that. I can tell you about your Kojic now. I can tell you what happened to my godson while he riding with the outcast motorcycle gang. He in jail. He confused right now. And it's amazing. He is got a brother that's a pastor letting him play the guitar, the bass in the church while he living up the street with some girl and got 5,000 girls pregnant. And yet his granddad is one of the four founding bishops of the denomination. I can tell you some dirty secrets now. Some dirty, it's amazing who I know and what I know. It's amazing. I can tell you some stuff now. I'm gonna tell you like this. A man who got clear vision in the spirit said, "You're the most dangerous person in America." Not because I will hurt nobody or kill nobody or cause somebody to kill nobody, because of what I know about your government, what I know about your businesses, and what I know about your churches. I could expose so much stuff that literally everything could fall down and you'll never leave your house and never want to leave your house. You will hide your children. But this is what the church is allowing business and government to do for you. Let me give you a real visual. It's imagine somebody like pretty like Halle Berry, somebody like her. Y'all consider her pretty, y'all consider her pretty, whatever. That's like her going naked with nothing on, glistening with oils, with a pair of red bottom stilettos to a men's prison and bending over. Now bending over while the guards are asleep and all the cells are open. That's exactly what your church is grooming the world to do. So that's why the stage for your Antichrist is being set for his grand entrance, because your church, you need to read about the seven churches in the book of Revelation. That's why the Antichrist come. That's why all that is in the book of Revelations. The more the church get grimy, the faster the acceleration of the Antichrist. And I'm sorry to tell you, the Antichrist is already born. He's already born and he's already watching and seeing. You're teaching him what to do and how to get you. And I'm sorry to say, y'all act like R. Kelly is a monster. No, churches have done more atrocities than R. Kelly. Don't forget, R. Kelly sings gospel songs too. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing about some of your actresses that were dream girls that get an award and act like this is how you look. This is how you. It's amazing. I could tell you the truth about her too. What I see in the spirit about her. If I ever do what I see in the spirit about you, if I ever do what I see in the spirit about you, it ain't gonna look good. Because what I'm trying to tell you is, it's like I'm gonna have to do a show like in Living Color called In Living Monkey. I'm gonna have to show y'all how y'all mock and play with God's righteousness and holiness. I'm gonna mock y'all because y'all mocking God. Don't the Bible say God laughs at his enemy? Because the way y'all do, y'all really spitting in God's face. And y'all really mocking God's righteousness and holiness and respect and honor. Y'all mocking the foundation that Jesus laid. Y'all mocking Jesus' blood. Y'all mocking Jesus' love. So I'm gonna start mocking you. The Lord told me he want me to go back into acting, and Lord knows I don't enjoy that because people will look at me and not the one to give me the gift. I really don't like showing my gifts because people look at me, girl, you the bomb, you the bad, you bad. No, look at the one that gave me the gift. I wasn't born saying, let me be an actress. I wasn't born in the womb and saying, let me do this, let me do this. I just came out as a baby. Remember, I was never treated like I was loved by my mama. Even God said it. God said, and people in the world keep prophesying, your mama have never shown you love. And every time you was in and out with Jesus, because your mother has never shown you love. My poor brother, I wish I could talk to my brother Sherman. He knows more than what I know. And how many times was he beaten with extension cords? How many times people got to get you in a green van with marijuana? It's amazing how many pictures I see of my parents smoking marijuana together, laid back, while I'm sitting there with Grandma Whore. My grandma was a dirty bird whore. She did a lot of great things for me, but she's disgusting. And the truth about who my Aunt Jean's daddy is disgusting. It's the truth about who half the kids' daddy is. It's disgusting. It's the truth about how my uncle was giving bottles of liquor and my aunt had to drop out of school to take care of him. He just is crazy now. His wife has no idea everything that was done to her husband. And he played back and forth between her and my mama. It's amazing. It's amazing about people like Sonny Boy, who's supposed to be a great leader. And he come from that community and he done lost his grandson because of stuff like that. See, the sins of the sons, because sins of the father become the sins of the sons. And sometimes you can curse your own children. I can tell you the real reason why them 3 boys blew up in that car. And every year y'all grieving and mourning on Facebook. But if you really want to know the truth, talk to me and I'll tell you the truth. And there will never be another 3 boys blown up in a car. I can really tell you why certain things, really why Duquette died. I can tell you what really happened to Sonny. I can really tell you why what's going on Tompkins Lane. I can really tell you what happened to my own little cousins and their mama sitting up there. I can really tell you what's wrong with her. I can really tell you what her sister Sandra did to her. I can really tell you what's wrong. Now I'm tired of y'all talking about Shirley. It's amazing. I'm tired of y'all talking about that. I can tell you I have to finish. I can really tell you if your grandparents or parents grew up or lived in Edmontown off of Highway 612, near the Mountain Level Church, you flicked it. If anybody in your family ever live or grew up on that road, you got so much generational curses and sins up in you. See, some of y'all brag on your grandparents or whatever, like they honorable, and you don't even know how many people was down at Halle House in the car with Jay Lewis. And she supposed to be respectful. I can tell you some of your uncles ain't the real uncles. And they got kids and they don't lay around eggs everywhere and kids confused. I can tell you why people screwing. I can tell you a whole history. If you really want to know, not for the sake of hurting people, but to expose darkness. Because I'm telling you right now, the Lord told me the blood of my Uncle Clyde is not on that boy that shot him. The blood on Sherrod death is not because of the dude that stabbed him. The blood of little Clyde crashing that car and dying is not on the drug life. It's not. I'm gonna tell you who the blood hands on. I can take you back to the ancestors. I can take you back if you really want to know. So while you telling me you don't want to talk to me on Facebook no more, because I'm telling you stop putting your business, the people laughing at you and blaming you for why your son blew up in that car. You really don't want to, and I text you and tell you stop putting your business on Facebook because people laughing at you because they say you twerking on little Clyde's grave. I can really tell you where it come from. If you really want to stop and you got a grandson y'all call Superman, how I can help you to make sure the same thing don't happen to Superman. Why is y'all not dealing with things and y'all cursing y'all generations? Y'all are cursing the future. The church of the day is sacrificing babies. They sacrificing the souls and the spirits and the hearts of babies. You're killing your own future generation. The church is really aborting people's destiny. That's the real abortion clinic. That's your real Planned Parenthood, the church. God got RICO charges against the church. In the next couple of weeks or so, he about to deal with some things. So I'm gonna tell you right now, God bless you, Corey Hoko, Tokyo, Tony. And I pray to the Lord, even OJ Simpson, I try to email you every day in jail. There's certain things I know that you've never heard before. You've never heard things been told to you the way I can tell you. And it's amazing the blood that was shed for me and my sins and what I had to go through to become who I am today. It's amazing how God made me to tell the whole world, you living a lie. You in dysfunction. You retarded. And the word retarded is an offensive word, but the church has made you retarded. I can really tell you where autism come from. I can really tell you where certain diseases come from. So yes, of course, go ahead and get your money, pharmacists. Go ahead and keep pimping people with pills, doctors, because your church like it and people like it. They like it. They like it. They like it. Because at some point, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get blackballed. But I got a mortgage. I got kids. I gotta work. If I don't work, I don't eat. And if I don't, I don't. But that's okay. Because the truth is coming out. And if something happened to me, that's okay. You know why? Because my message will be heard even louder. It's amazing how more famous Tupac got after he died. It's amazing how certain people after they die, their message get louder. And I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all don't know this, but there's a whole army throughout. I know at least 66 nations waiting for something to happen to Mumba. And you will see the world get turned upside down. Not only is the army of God ready, if y'all mess with Mumba again. So if anybody come after me and anything happen to me, y'all not ready for the vengeance the Lord got. And y'all got a human army waiting. You don't think Mama not known? There's a reason why certain people don't click on certain videos or whatever. There's certain things people know, so it's not obvious how many people are following and watching Mama. And I'm sorry to tell you, if I can tell you really how Nipsey Hussle's is tied to that camp, and how a lot of stuff can take some things now that could cause a war between several countries and got something to do with a lot of stuff that's allowed legally through some of your State Department things. It's amazing who's allowed to come over here to get a visa to come to that concentration camp. I can really tell you where the money coming from, why they tied to Dr. Doolittle. I can really tell you where her money trail really come from. And it's not obviously officer from Hanover County. It's above your pay grade. It's above your pay grade. It's above your pay grade, social worker. But he said he take a lot. So if he's not taking his psychological pills, it can go a month, 2 months, 3 months before he flip out. And if he flip out and kill somebody there, even his own son don't know what he dealing with. He don't know what happened in that sulfur funnel my husband was in when he was in that coma. Y'all don't know the mindset of my husband, but he's smart enough. He know put his hands on me. He's smart enough to know better. Ask what happened. I wanted to Walmart in Ashland, Virginia, got a videotape what happened in the parking lot by the first entrance and by the first handicap, what he did and what I did to him. And he knew right there. He was want to play wrestle. I said, I don't play wrestle. He did a move and look what I did to him. And from that day forward, he has never felt froggy. He ain't never lay hands on me. One day he gonna pick up a knife to try to threaten me, but I laughed in his face. What happened when you stole that hammer off of the North 146 Baytown Walmart? And it's amazing what the cops did. I can even get Chambers County tied to if somebody died or get hurt. I can tell you how you can have a lawsuit against deputies in Chambers County because I was on the phone on speakerphone. You sitting there interrupting me, and it's amazing what the boy in Ghana was recording. You told me to do with a gun with my husband. You know you were supposed to take him to a psychiatric ward for what he did and said that day. I only called you not because I was scared, was for the log things. And it's amazing what happened to some of them 911 calls I made. It's amazing. Whatever happens, I never heard follow through. It's amazing. I can name some officer names, and it's amazing. A lot of y'all stuff was live on my phone in other nations, and they got recordings. So you need to be careful. If I really want to start a war, a problem, no problem. If I really want to get you and you have no salary, no job, and every the police department gets shut down, no problem. If you really want your hospital shut down, your doctors to lose the ability to write prescriptions, no problem. If you really want me to expose, but I ain't gonna do that. You know why? Because it's your church. Your church ain't doing it because they don't want to do it. They don't want to support me. It's amazing. Thank you, Sis Tasha, for blessing me. Sis Tasha. Sis Tasha from Amelia County. Thank you for blessing me. Thank you, Auntie Roby. But I'm gonna tell you right now how dirty and how evil my own mother is. And I hope she hears it. I'm telling on her. Because what's wrong with my brother and how you believe somebody from the cartel and everything you did and my brother is wounded. What happened to Aunt Geraldine and you supporting cousin and you telling stuff and whatever. Look at how my cousin Arthur don't know who he dealing with you. They don't know the real you. They don't know who even you married to. Let's tell about the lies that's in your own house. Let's tell what's really going on. Let's tell. Look at your own sister. She just is confused. Spiritually, I'm finding out how many lies my aunt Lady lied and told me. It's amazing how the perception, and it's amazing her own daughter don't even know the filth her mama done. It's amazing how Dr. Carson's wife was gonna try to get custody of my cousin Tree, you know who. It's amazing. Whatever. It's amazing what happened with that car juking the people. It's amazing what happened on my grandma's deathbed. It's amazing. It's amazing how many of my aunts gonna brag and tell me you shouldn't be in this situation. But how many times was you gonna be foreclosed on? And how many times did you ride up and get some of my granddaddy's money that your daughter go for? She don't know grandma and grandpa. She too. That's how your mortgage got paid. It's amazing how you act the way you did at my vow renewal. Go for you crying. You realize the Holy Spirit could have killed you for interrupting worship. It's amazing. Y'all are sick, evil, and pathetic. Y'all are sick, evil, and pathetic. And that's why we got some people hiding the fact that that their daughters are lesbians. They don't want to tell the family. And that's why she stay high on marijuana and liquor and be drunk driving. And it's cool because mom and dad did drunk drive. I've been in cars of people in my family that brag how they drinking and driving. The cops don't get them. They know every time the cops, it's amazing. It's amazing. The cops do the same checkpoint for the last 20 years on Highway 153 and Highway 612, the same place. Everybody knew which way to go. It's amazing how my cousin, who's supposed to be all that working for Verizon, be drinking and driving, had a DUI. And it's amazing. One day he thought the cops was after him. After he got the DUI, he drunk driving. It's amazing. It's a rite of passage to be a drinking driver in my family and get away with it. It's a rite of passage. How my cousin, we tried to raise him right, and he started bragging. Bobo taught me. It's amazing how dirty preachers on 612 go for judging everybody, go for being a pastor and crew, but got their son shacking up in their house with a girl and got their other son, got other girls pregnant with twins, and they ain't got nowhere to go. But you judge everybody. And you tried to sabotage my ministry at a conference of holiness. I can tell you how some people who are former law enforcement trying to be law enforcement, and you married to a dirty skank who played that role like she holy. I just found out she don't offer her vagina to Brother Randy. While certain people in the choir at the church showing pictures of them to Brother Randy. It's amazing what's going on. It's amazing. Y'all are sick, evil, and twisted. Sick, evil, and twisted. So stop judging Nikki for having another baby. Stop judging. Stop judging her. Look at the family she come from. Look at her grandma. How many kids got the same daddy? Look how many times she done cheated on Brother Otis. Oh, she blind now? Look how people done survive throat cancer, breast cancer, and look how they living. Look how your daughter's twerking, and it's amazing, popping out babies like popcorn. And some of y'all was raised in the country on Tompkins Lane, and you were just as country and gullible. You moved to Richmond, you got more tattoos than Tupac. You got this, you driving a Cadillac with no insurance for 2 years, but your boyfriend in a car club. And you popping out baby, hey mama, the name the baby names like a baby honorable. And your mom and daddy just forgot God, and you want me to come help my godson. How can you? When look how you raised him. That's why he was hell on wheels. That's why I stepped away, because ain't nothing I can do to implement him. Because it was y'all living a lie, because y'all come from families of liars. And y'all think y'all holy and right because y'all seem sweet and nice. I can tell you what really goes on in Pox and Rec in Amelia County. I can really tell you what go on. I can tell you some things now. But so now y'all want to mock and get away with and play with God and ignore my text, ignore me appealing to you, trying to bless you. You want to mock God and spit in God's face. So now God gonna unleash me to do episodes of The Living Monkey. And he only talking about people who say they Christians and church people. Every episode is going to be dedicated to you, your church, your children, your whole situation. You mock God now going to use you for entertainment. But it's going to be educating where the world going to laugh at you. Then the world going to say, but we ain't going to be like them. And watch, they going to ask, what must I do to be saved? Because God got to do it this way. Because every way he's done it, you still playing. So he going to take me, an apostle to arts, because yes, I'm a professional dancer, because smoke all of y'all. Smoke all of y'all. I'm 47 and I'm still large and in charge. Smoke all of y'all. Smoke y'all. And I can explain how and why. It ain't gonna be no techniques determined by some board or some Broadway or whatever. Because was there a board or Broadway or school of dance in the Bible in the beginning of time when dance was invented? Dancing got to do with the heart, boo. You can always tell somebody who got a gift from the heart or got a gift that was trained. You always can take the girls who do hair, who learn from their heart. When they do go to school, it accentuates what they already got. Or you can find, well, I always want to be a hairdresser, so I'm gonna go to school. You can always tell the product. The product always tell the heart of the manufacturer, whether he's organized or not. The product always reflect. The child always reflect the heart of the home. You can even tell animals. There are certain times I've been places the animal behaves itself when I'm speaking to the parents. It's amazing. I've seen autistic children ex grocery stores, ex psycho. The moment I start talking to the parents, the children get quiet. It's amazing. Everywhere I go, when I start loving and blessing people, chaos stop. But I get fought, I get abused. My own family don't care nothing about me. How many times? I mean, really, if I really expose who did what and who's doing what, right now, my family, my own parents gonna be the lead of the house. If I really tell it, I have to tell it because God is blaming my own mother. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hurt her feelings, but I have tried and tried. She cold-hearted. And what's happening to my older brother and how she judges him. But yeah, and what's going on with my cousin Enki? They got him just as crazy. And it's okay. And Poe Thelma House now is the new country inn. And my uncle, he noticed. I done tried to help my uncle Meriwether too. But it's amazing how they gossip about him slinging Viagra like M&Ms and women saying he doing this and doing that, and how some of his hoes be telling me they his hoes. But yet he up in church every Sunday, he a trustee. Trust in what? Let's talk about the fraud he done committed. And my aunt LA had to save him. Why y'all got these people up in there because they look good and dress good and do whatever? Y'all churches is, y'all are sick. Yes, I'm naming people in my family. I'm naming them because they have done some things and they have assisted my husband in not believing in the truth. See, Roland had options. Roland was given the world by me and God, but he possibly don't want it because he don't believe because the people like people in my family who go to church or whatever, who whatever, and then he see how they treat me. And that's partially why he don't believe, and that's why he won't let go. That's why he won't repent. He really don't see the fruits of repenting and changing because the evidence of how they treat his wife, how whatever and whatever, the pressure that Satan used all of that. Satan used your sins to help advertise other people to not come to Christ. They're not to believe in fruit and righteousness. A lot of people don't believe in being holy and being pure or don't want it because of y'all. The blood, like I said, the blood of Sherrod, death is not on the guy that stabbed him. The man that pulled the trigger on my Uncle Clyde, his blood is not going to be on that man's hands. Whatever happened to my cousin Lil Clyde, whatever my cousin Osmond, the blood ain't going to be on their hands. It's going to be on y'all's hands because y'all create an atmosphere and to set an atmosphere and a worldview for people not to trust holiness, righteousness, and not to trust Jesus. So what's going on with your Beyonce is because of the atmosphere and how much the price people willing to pay to be trashy. How deep is your love? So stop doing these podcasts about Beyonce album and this whatever. When y'all sit there monetizing, and some of y'all is just as crooked yourself. And I get tired of my professor say, what kind of message that your seminary say? How much did your seminary charge you? Did you get a student loan? How many times you had to do this type of citation? And if your margin ain't right, and how many times you got to read what Bonhoeffer said? What does God say? What does the Holy Spirit say? Even though I respect Dietrich Bonhoeffer and I love him, I love Smith Wigglesworth, but they are not the utmost foremost. It's amazing how I can tell you some things that they never understood. It's amazing. You know why? Because I don't lay with a deity. I know him. He invited me into intimacy and he keeps me fruitful. Revelation flows from me like a river that won't stop. And I can tell you the why the why. I can look at somebody and tell you why your eyebrows shaped the way it is. People lose their mind when I explain why their nose shaped the way it is, or why your legs shaped the way it is, or why your height. It's amazing. I can explain some things that you've never heard. People are drawn to me because they've never seen me as a wonder. And I'm trying to teach you, the church, how to do the same thing. No, we don't want that. Because we would never give everything up like you did. I didn't ask you to go to Texas. No, you didn't. God did. And you out there suffering. I'm suffering because I choose to suffer. If I want to be like you and be a paper chaser, and I ain't got to get stolen land from Uncle Sammy. I ain't got to be a paper chaser. I ain't got to chase and be 68 years old trying to get a job. Really? If I really wanted to do something for the sake of money, I could be the wealthiest person to the point Elon Musk would ask me, girl, how can I get that paper? Do you realize how brilliant this mind is and how powerful my mind is? But everything I do for free. I don't get no donations at beyeholy.com. I don't get nothing. But some of y'all are robbing and stealing revelation I put or your prayers I put for you on Facebook. All of y'all are Facebook skanks and hoes. Facebook skanks and hoes. And some of y'all preachers that have met me on Facebook, you dirty. It's amazing. You pushing NASA products or whatever at a conference or whatever, it's supposed to be up deliverance, and you done took that over, which we questioned some things about your husband's sexuality. You dirty. And how many times y'all kept rubbing my legs? It's amazing what happened to my legs ever since the day y'all kept rubbing my legs with oil. It's amazing what happened to my legs. It's amazing what happened to me ever since I caught COVID in a hospital in Lynchburg. It's amazing. We would have never been in a hospital if my mother had told my husband, I got mold in the basement. My husband almost died. Because we're not allowed to sleep upstairs. We got to sleep in the basement. And we're not allowed to be in the house unattended to. What is in that house? Halleck Myers being closed, and the furniture was bought 5,000 years ago from Halleck Myers. I'm just saying, what you got, boo? And what you could afford that I couldn't afford. Do you realize things I've had you never knew? Things I could afford. It's amazing the things I did to get my ex-husband a job he won't qualify for. I could tell you stories why my ex-husband is just as confused. I feel sorry for him. I did him wrong. He did me wrong because we was raised wrong. And I can really tell you what happened to his mom and why the same things I know about his mom and what they did to her. And her sister sit back and let the family be. It's amazing what cousin Kenny do.
It's amazing how PJ, it's amazing. This stuff is sick, but I'm gonna tell you something. Something happened to my cousin Devin, all y'all going down. And I ain't gonna hurt you, but when something happened to my cousin Devin, I'm gonna tell you right now, all y'all going down. Because my cousin Devin was created by God to be one of the most amazing people on earth. And all y'all sit back and don't let nothing happen to my cousin Devin, Lord. Let him come out on top. I love my cousin Devin. Lord have mercy. I love my cousin Devin. God bless Devin. But some of y'all are some trashy, low down, dirty skank holes in the spirit. Some of y'all are workers for the devil. Devil, stop watching the news and say it's a shame. It's your fault. It's your fault why they shooting, they killing the whole world. It's your church's fault. It's all y'all fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault why sex trafficking is a major thing. It's your fault why molestation is a major thing. It's your fault because you're doing it in the spirit, so it's manifested in the natural. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault what happened to Breonna Taylor. It's your fault what happened to George Floyd. It's your fault what happened to Trayvon Martin. It's your fault what happened to Martin Luther King. It's your fault what happened to Malcolm X. It's your fault what happened to Medgar Evers. It's your fault what happened to Emmett Till. It's your fault. And this is long before the white man brought us to America. I can tell you some real sins was going on amongst them African tribes against each other long before the white man realized there was Africa. Let's take it way, way back, even before the Bible was in Africa. Let's take it back to the sins of our original ancestors. It's amazing. Stop blaming people for what you think you know about your history. You don't want the truth, you would get mad. Stop this and they, and when they took this out of schools and when they took this, that's based on your history. You don't know the real history because the Holy Spirit can't reveal to you because you dishonorable this and this. Stop honoring people. You need to honor, you need to know the deal. And if you don't know him, ask him to introduce himself. Ask him to make covenant with you so you can bear fruits of solution. Because I got so many solutions that God gave me, but anybody got time? Anybody got time? I don't want to go that deep. I don't want to. It's your fault. You are part of the disease and the problem. COVID is just nothing compared to what's going on in the spirit. So that's why Dr. Doolittle and all them people can have a strong arm over my husband. And for some reason, the reason why he got to go there, because let's tell the truth, why he can't live in Jersey. All the things he did in New Jersey, the top drugs and mafia people say he can't live there. And if he do that, kill his whole family. Let's tell the truth. That's why he ain't got nowhere else to go but to that camp. He can't be with me because let's really tell you what the police really want to do to you here in Texas, and you're not allowed to do. That's to tell the real reason why I rejected you. The last time I heard your voice, I wouldn't let you into the hotel room, and I called for somebody to come protect me. I had to do it, even though you can't hurt me in the condition I was in. Everything. Let's tell the truth. I rejected you. Let's say what I told you on your birthday. God was offering you the way. I said, what? Piss together the pot. You either follow God and do right in this marriage, or you will go. Let's tell how you proposed to me that I was already engaged to watch you, and you gonna get on your knee and beg me. I kissed you on the 14th. By the 15th, you were saying, let's get married. I know how to get a apartment. You begged me to get you off that camp. You begged me, and you knew, and the Lord been saying for over 3 years, you were using me to get you on your feet and get you healthy so you could go do, because look how you finesse your daughter for money and lie and trick and say things, what you tell cousin Paul, Tanya, sick for money. And you never got it. Your daughter ain't never give you a dime but judge you. And I'm sorry to say, y'all at the VA hospital better stop that girl from writing prescriptions. Don't let me give you which date and what credit cards and what drinks and what she said to my sister-in-law, who's a doctor under oath, what she told her as a medical professional. This really, and this girl got some, and if you know her, some of these psychiatrists and people in medical profession, y'all need to find out who their family members are and what's going on with their family members and what they was groomed, because some of these people are evil and sick. Do you realize how many psychiatrists and psychologists I've gotten into their psyche? And literally sit there and made them confused. I literally got into their heads. I can tell you some stories now. If somebody ever write a prescription for me again for psychological, I'm gonna tell you the truth about them. It's doctors, as far as I was 13, that's lost their ability to write prescription. There's psychological clinics that's shut down because of me. It's amazing. And y'all officers are not equipped to handle nothing.
Y'all are whores for the government because the church let y'all be. Y'all, and some of y'all that go for y'all go to church and y'all work in these hospitals and law enforcement in these mental places, y'all are whores for a paycheck. You a paid whore. And who's your pimp? Because the church let this happen. But you, for you blessed it, you to praise the worship leader. They hear you is Carrie sitting up there at the hospital at Bel Air, letting a great big white girl cage you in. But you the praise the worship leader. Who you praising and worship? With that paycheck, but then you're gonna let Esther say what she said to me, and nobody could say nothing I was doing wrong. It's amazing what happened to some of them girls. And if one of them girls that committed suicide by next, two of them that was in danger of that, and I tried to warn y'all, I can tell you the fallacies and the weaknesses in the structure of labeling people. It's amazing. The med tech taking notes based on their perception, do the work, and whatever they write, that's what the psychiatrists come in and say, oh, you in psychosis, you got this, you got that. It's amazing how Angela at Hospital Bel Air is crooked. She sat there and played games. She know what's going on, Angela. Your Natalie, was it Natalie Bryant? You know what's going on. Pasquale, you know what you doing. Ngozi, you know what you doing. Y'all are some sick, dirty, evil, twisted people. And that girl that gave me her family's phone number in Mexico, and I got all of her patient information. You would believe what I was tracking and writing down. You would believe was in my notebook. And this is the reason why I got copies hidden digital, and I've given copies in case something happened to me. I got a network of the whole world that will expose any and everybody. Then you got the army of God that's gonna come and destroy all of y'all once He puts your proof. God is against you. God is against you. You sick, you evil, you twisted. You sick, it's most of y'all chaplains. Here it is at a hospital, St. Joseph, the chaplain ain't got no communion. Here it is, certain chaplains didn't know certain things about the Bible. Then you got certain chaplains or all these spooky religions, and you praying over me in the hospital? No, sir. Every hospital I go to, I said, let me meet the chaplain. I need to know who's doing the praying, who's covering this hospital. It's amazing. It's amazing how this hospital here in Baytown got prayer at 9 o'clock in the morning and they doing demonic stuff secretly. Yeah, I'm naming names because Nurse Kern should be in jail. Sham should be in jail. Andrew Sullivan should be in jail. They should be in jail. Some of your law enforcement should be in jail. I'm gonna tell you, most people in jail shouldn't be in jail because you're real criminals. God gonna reveal who the real criminal. God gonna put you in His jail. Y'all about to get got. Y'all about to get got. Y'all about to get exposed, and this is gonna be something like you never seen in history before. Because look how much blood has been shed. Look how many lives been lost. That girl jumping off the 29th floor of that beauty pageant, guess who fault it is? That boy Ian Alexander killing himself, guess who fault it is? Yeah, all these actors that's killing themselves and ODing, guess who fault it is? It ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Adult Protective Services is a game. If I tell you what the little black girl did to me, she's supposed to be helping me. If I ever get a copy of my file, I can't find some reason her name. What she did to me at that hotel on Maxie Road, me and my husband, that's a lot of reason why my husband don't believe. He saw me pressing, he saw my sacrifice, but he don't see no point to what I do. So he'd rather sit back and just live a lie and brag on a $724 Social Security check. Brag on that. But Dr. Dooley gonna get more labor out of him than that. Lord knows she go for, they pay an $8,000 electric bill and they don't owe nobody. Yeah, you don't owe nobody on paper. But that's what's on the notes of God when God revealed. And you sit back and respect that Kim. See, if she had let them do that wellness check, all they was asking is said, let me lay eyes on him and see if he's okay. But she did that. So she opened the door for this onslaught of attack exposure of 11352 Heflin Lane. I'm going to expose. I'm going to have to expose. And your IRS better start digging deeply. Otherwise, God going to have people to dig deeply into you. Some of these nonprofits and some of these stores and what you call them, thrift stores, let's tell you what's really going on. It's amazing how many nonprofits, all the money goes to administrative fees, administrative staff. That's amazing how many nonprofits here in Texas. I said, let's work together. Well, can I come volunteer to help your structure? How many churches said, can I volunteer to come help you? Can I teach you some things? It's a church right here. Not far from me. I can walk there by behind the store. I have called them and asked, can I help you get your website back? Can I help volunteer to strengthen you, to strengthen your community? Can I help you? There's a border guy, Tyrone Nelson in Richmond. I called him. Can I help you? Here's some Texas. Can I help you to help these boys in Richmond from a distance? Can we join Tide Force? Have I got a phone call? I have called and offered to help people for free. No, because that's not their program. That's not their will. That's not the way they want to do it. Nobody want to co-label together. I'm naming names, and it's amazing. WRIC Channel 8, you should be ashamed of yourself. NBC 12, you should be ashamed of yourself. Click 2 Houston, you should be ashamed of yourself. TMZ, all these people I have given dossiers. Amelia County newspaper called Amelia Bulletin Monitor. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Billy Coburn with the Mercurial Record. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. So what corporation owns y'all? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all not really telling the news. Y'all telling stuff to keep y'all in business. The more tragedy and trauma that y'all show this whatever that ain't really getting dealt with, y'all recycling pain. Y'all the reason why things are happening. And you think them people in Afghanistan, people want American culture to come to their country? That's the reason why Boko Exam existed. Listen to the meaning of Boko Exam. Western civilization is evil. There's a reason why they don't believe in organized education. There's a reason why Al Qaeda do what they do. There's a reason why all of them terrorist groups do what they do. There's always a genesis to everything, a seed to everything. There's always, that's what I'm saying. Y'all, if you put it this way, if you don't get the genesis of something, you'll never get the revelation of something. Ding dong. There's so much you don't know because it's your heart. If your heart ain't right, you ain't gonna never get it. You ain't gonna never figure it out. You ain't gonna never see the golden treasure of life. If your heart ain't right, it's a heart thing. That's why Jesus said, love God and love thy neighbor. It's a love thing. And if you've done them two things, you've done what, all 631, whatever, or how I remember, yeah, in the law. And remember, there's still laws you have to follow that's in the Bible. It's God's law and natural law, not talking about ceremonial law and other kinds of law. Watch these words they use. Watch these translations of the Bible they use. Watch the trick it. It's amazing how many lawyers ain't nothing but pastors that didn't teach their call, and how many pastors use legal words and legal terms to manipulate. See, they set an atmosphere. They set an atmosphere. That's why atmosphere is suggestive. That way it's not legally a crime. It's not a written crime. I'm talking about the church. I ain't talking about other religions because you got other religions because the church ain't right. And there's the next thing, it could be the church of Booger next. And they're gonna be the next biggest explosion. Yes, I'm doctor of the church of Booger. And people gonna follow. Yeah, I want that church of Booger. Booger. Not my maiden name Booker, Booger. I'm just telling you, the church is a dirty bird skank hole. She's a Goma, and she's worse than Goma. She's a Goma on ecstasy. And it's amazing in the name of get that check. Your school psychologist got parents selling their kids soul for a social security check in the name of, but he got this degrees. It's amazing how many school psychologists telling you to get a check. School teachers say get a check from Social Security. It's disgusting. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. How many teachers that change diapers? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Disgusting. God gonna spit you out of his mouth. This video is long, but it may not see the light of day, but I have other ways of recording. I have other ways of sharing stories, and I be on the streets telling the truth. And there's so much I could expose: phone numbers, addresses, names of people I've taken pictures who've magically disappeared. Poor Mr. Charlie over there on Garth Road at that shopping center with Twin City security guard. He should be ashamed of himself. He's disgusting. He's scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. And it's amazing with that manager, that Dollar General, sit up there letting Miss Charlotte do all the work, and she the heart of the place, been there 25 years scraping and scrounging. Look at that manager. I tried to talk to him. You disgusting. And he go the black girl and work there gonna tell me don't pay for no more people stuff. Here's a girl that don't speak English coming in there and they got prices wrong and she trying to tell them and I pay for her. Don't pay for her stuff no more. How you gonna tell me you can work there at the Dollar General on Garth Road down there with a Dollar Tree at the shopping center across from Deluxe, whatever in, and you gonna sit there and tell me you a sellout? Yeah, I talked to that girl from Cuba. I told her some things. I told her the story of Asada Shakur. She didn't know Tupac aunt was Asada. She didn't know about her own country, Cuba. That's a shame. She never knew Pac had ties to Cuba.
She was amazing. She was amazed why I paid for her stuff. She was amazed. That's what I do. And I go around doing this everywhere I go. Blessed strangers. I leave light, boo. I leave light and love. Light and love. I leave light and love and joy wherever I go. There's always a sign that I've been there. And here it is. If you knew my situation I'm in right now, it's amazing. 'Cause God gonna see who really is gonna assist Tanya. And if you knew how my brother gonna tell me, it's a shame. Poor Auntie Ruby said she ain't never seen a world like this in a family like my family. And Lord knows some of the horror stories she done seen in churches all over the world. She's never seen a family like my family. She said she don't understand. And my poor auntie doing the best she can, but auntie is heartbroken. She don't know what to do. And some of her family really don't want her helping me. Certain people done told her, leave me and Devin alone. It's amazing. But I thank you, cousin Shala and cousin Mitri and cousin Uppy. I thank you, cousin Uppy. And my own uncle should be ashamed of himself. My own aunt. I got an uncle and aunt ain't never give me $1 my whole life, but I've given them. Some of them been in my wedding night to pay for everything, and all they do is talk stuff. And they've never given me nothing. They've never ever helped me with nothing, nothing. Nothing. And they don't see me homeless. And they hang with people that laugh at me when I was homeless, people that judge me. It's amazing how they go back and forth between each other. Five-faced monkeys. It's amazing. You wouldn't stop by Thelma House, but now Thelma dead. Thelma House is the new country inn. Yeah, and you call Thelma all kinds of whores. If Uncle Peter only knew what they say about his parents. It's amazing. My Aunt Jean chose to die, and I understand why she rather die than live. She made peace with Jesus, but even though she was sick, but she saw no reason to stay living because she never saw a sense of change. She never saw a sense of growth. 612 is one of the most evil places. I done tried to tell Precious the truth. It's amazing. I done told her. I done tried to tell her the truth. I done tried to tell my cousin Duke the truth out of love. I tried to tell Charlotte out of love. It's amazing. It's amazing. If y'all like it, y'all like stuff happening and tragedy happen. Oh my God, I can't believe. Y'all like that kind of stuff. Y'all don't even know why y'all wake up every day. Y'all don't even know why God birthed you. You don't even know what your calling, your destiny is. You don't want to know. But we all know where you work at or where you go on vacation at. We always know that. Some of y'all is sickening and evil. And that's why Mark Jaguar, like, stop asking them to boycott Instagram and Facebook. No, let Zuckerberg and everybody make all the money they want. You know why? Because people don't hoard out their spirit and they mock God. So let Zuckerberg prosper. Let him prosper. Let him prosper. Let his pockets get deeper and deeper. Stop asking us to unite. Because if our heart ain't right, and this is long before the white man was even in Europe. It's some stuff our ancestors did in Africa that set the stage for this. Ain't no innocent parties here. When it comes to humans, there is no innocent party. There's no innocent party. So stop all this, black people. You ain't no victim. You are the most creative and stylish people, but yeah, you've hoarded your own souls. You've hoarded your own souls. And Kiara, please stay off Instagram. Cora, stay off Instagram. Y'all disgust me. Y'all disgust me. Y'all are disgusting. Kirk Franklin, I don't know what to say about you. And Jamie Foxx, I don't know what to say about you. Snoop Dogg, I can't even look at your picture. I get sick on my stomach. Pope Rance Allen had to die for his affiliation with spiritual things that you affiliated with it. Yeah, he had to die. His soul got snatched out. He physically had to die because his affiliation with you. If people know what you spiritually do to people, and yeah, everybody always paints Suge Knight as the gangster. It's amazing. Suge Knight is not the filthiest person in America, nor is R. Kelly. People that's free are filthier than them. So when God stopped putting people in his jail or putting people in his hell, you're gonna really find out. God knows the truth. And I'm tired of y'all talking about the Super Bowl halftime. That stuff was so demonic, and them people were so demonic, and here she up there looking fly and ain't getting paid. When is she ever gonna get paid? You were broke when Suge had to help you. You're broke because of the divorce. How are you an inspiration? You a letdown. You a disgust. Scary J. Blige. You a disgust. You're filth. You're filth. Y'all are filthy. Y'all are sick and evil. And I'm sorry to tell you, how many of y'all eating babies? I'm like Tokyo Tony. How many of y'all eating dead babies? Or how many of y'all screwing? Y'all doing something. Tokyo Tony's telling the truth about all y'all done sold y'all soul.
And you should see some of the pictures they take people, photo ops they take people they hang with. It's amazing what goes on. Some of y'all gospel singers are worse than your R&B and hip hop singers. Some of y'all are more Jezebel. Some of y'all are sick. And look at the outfits some of y'all wear. Look how some of your sisters got famous because she got your outfits. Look how she dressed. Everybody know every inch of her booty and it's amazing. Her booty is known. Her hips are known. Y'all are sick, evil, and twisted. So that's why guys call women bitches and hoes. Because some of y'all Christian leaders, you help people be spiritual bitches and hoes. Because y'all are spiritual bitches and hoes, female dogs. I'm not using profanity. Y'all are spiritual female dogs, letting everything hit it in the spirit, letting every demon, everything. But I'm married, and me and my husband, yeah, you married, but your soul is dipping into other stuff. Your spirit is dipping in perversion, and ain't got nothing to do with sex. That's why Pornhub can do what it do. That's why Kanye can tell you he was addicted to porn. That's how Kirk Franklin can tell you he was addicted to porn. Because really, most of your churches ain't nothing but a spiritual porn shop. A spiritual porn shop where there's no physical penetration, but there's spiritual whoredom, spiritual whores. That's what you have turned the world into, a porn hub.